welcome to the Prophecy Club. Today's topic is going to be advanced genetics in Bible prophecy. Our first topic, the headline is, a stealthy Harvard startup wants to reverse aging in dogs, and humans could be next. The subheadline says, biologist George Church says the idea is to live to 130 in the body of a 22-year-old. This comes to us by Antonio Regaldo, May 9th, 2018. Now, before I get into this, do you think that God is going to allow us to live to be 130 years old in a 22-year-old body? Does this relate to Bible prophecy? Does Bible prophecy have anything to say about it? And the answer is yes, it does. But first of all, let's hear what this biologist, George Church, is saying. He says the world's most influential synthetic biologist is behind a new company that plans to rejuvenate dogs using gene therapy. If it works, he says, he plans to try the same approach in people, and he might be one of the first volunteers. This new stealth startup, Rejuvenate Bio, confounded by George Church of Harvard Medical School, thinks dogs aren't just man's best friend, but also the best way to bring age-defying treatments to the market. The company, which has carried out preliminary tests on beagles, claims it will make animals younger by adding new DNA instructions to their bodies. They go on to say that this working technology to reverse aging in dogs may just be possible. They say, we have done research and a bunch of trials in mice, and we're now doing in some dogs, and then we'll move on to humans. So that's the big question that we'll start with. That's our first question for the day is this possible? Is God going to allow us to live 130 years in a 22-year-old body? So we go to the Bible. Let's start with Revelation 9:1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven to the earth. That's an angel. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. The sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, nor any green thing, nor any tree. Now, I say all of that to get to this point. But only those men which have not the seal of God on their foreheads. And to them was given them that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. So you got the picture. So there's a big crack that comes in the earth. Smoke comes out of the crack, and then locusts come out of the crack. Now, here's the point. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Now, since that's the point that I'm making, let me read that again. In those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. See, right now, when we have, in my opinion, we are at the pinnacle. We're at the apex. We're at the top of mankind's evolution, probably going all the way back to Adam and Eve, for sure, going back to the flood. In other words, mankind has progressed to probably its highest point it's ever going to. And mankind, in our arrogance, we begin to think, well, we can just do anything, and we can just make ourselves live forever, or at least in this case, 130 years. Okay, so then what does God say? God says that he has an X on the calendar, and that when we hit that X, that's when time stops. There is no more time. That's when we go into the New Jerusalem. That's when we go into the new world. We get our glorified bodies. This whole world is all destroyed. But God, in his infinite love and wisdom, is going to begin to destroy the kind parts. He's pulling the rug out from under us. He's taking away our food, our water, and eventually pretty much everybody dies just before he returns. Not everybody, but he does say that unless he returns, no flesh will be saved. So what the Bible says is very different from what this guy is thinking. This guy is thinking, hey, he can correct this body, and this body could live in a 22-year-old body to be the age of 130. That's where they're trying to go. But the Bible says that the day is going to come that men will be living forever, but they don't want to. In other words, it becomes so hard, so terrible to live in that future world, and in my opinion, not too many years down the road, that people desire to die, but they can't die. Let me read that again. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it. They shall desire to die. Let me read that again. Shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Meaning that, no, I don't think God is going to let us live 130 years in a 22-year-old body. That's not his plan. His plan, according to Daniel chapter 2, is to destroy the 4 world governments, meaning all people, and they shall not be left to other people. Another place it says, they shall become as the chaff of the summer threshing floor, and the wind shall carry them away, and there was found no place for them. Meaning, everybody, except a small group of what the Bible calls nations. Everybody is destroyed all the way back to Adam, whose names are not written in the book of life, except the nations. Those are the people that did not receive the mark of the beast, but they didn't receive Jesus either. And they're allowed to live another 1,000 years, meaning this guy doesn't even understand God's plan. So let's go on to the next article. Headline: Scientists to grow mini brains using Neanderthal DNA. Geneticists hope comparing prehistoric modern biology will help them to understand what makes humans unique. This is by Hannah Devlin. Scientists are preparing to create mini brains that have been genetically engineered to contain Neanderthal DNA in an unprecedented attempt to understand how humans differ from our closest relatives. In other words, it sounds like this guy believes in evolution. In the next few months, the small blobs of tissue known as brain organoids will be grown from human stem cells that have been edited to contain Neanderthalized, I have to think to even pronounce that one, versions of several genes. The lentil-sized organoids, which are incapable of thoughts or feelings, replicate some of the basic structures of an adult brain. They could demonstrate for the first time that there were meaningful differences between human and Neanderthal brain biology. And this other guy previously led the successful international effort to crack the Neanderthal genome, and his lab is now focused on bringing Neanderthal traits back to life in the laboratory through sophisticated gene editing techniques. Let me read that one again. Gene editing techniques. So here they are openly saying that they are editing genes. That means that mankind is injecting themselves into the creation process. We are trying to actually create something that is not human. Well, does the Bible talk about that? Oh, you better bet it does. And for this one, we're going to go to Revelation 13. Verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Now, I believe that this is probably a future pope, or possibly even this pope, and he exercises all the power of the first beast, meaning the Antichrist, before him, and he causeth the earth, and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, or the Antichrist, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders. Now, this is the important part. He doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth and the sight of men. Probably that's some kind of laser beam from either some kind of vehicle in space or a satellite or something like that. And he deceiveth them. Let me read that again. He deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Means, in the last days, we're going to see all kinds of amazing miracles. Yes, we've been seeing them even for the last 20 or 30 years. Miracles in science, miracles in medical, okay, miracles in weapons, miracles in our businesses, all kinds of miracles. Let's go on, though. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. That's the sentence I want to get to. Saying to them that dwell on the earth means the people on the earth make an image. Now, why does God call it an image to the beast? Because right now, you and I are an image, as in an image made of God. We are made in His own image. However, mankind, this is what it's saying, mankind makes an image of the beast, or an image in the image of the beast. It's some kind, in my opinion, is some kind of like a clone that is probably half man, half Lucifer. Let's take just a second. I've talked about this several times. Genetically, Jesus was half man, half God. In other words, it was the Holy Spirit that overshadowed Mary, means that when Jesus genetically and physically was half man, half God. Ron Wyatt said when he found the blood on the mercy seat, that, and he scraped it up and had it reconstituted, which means they add distilled water to it, they found that the somatids of his blood were still alive. But they also found something else very unusual. They said that genetically it only had one set of chromosomes. You see, our chromosomes are 23 from the man, 23 from the woman, and then has an X or a Y that determines male or female. Only this particular blood only had one set of chromosomes, meaning the other set of chromosomes were the chromosomes from the Holy Spirit or God. So genetically, physically, the genetics of Jesus, assuming Ron was correct, are literally half man, half God. Now, since the devil doesn't do anything new, he only takes what God does and then turns it to the opposite and corrupts it. It is very reasonable to understand that what this is really saying is that the Antichrist, or this specifically in this case, the image to the beast is going to be a man-made something that is half man-made and half Lucifer. Does that make sense? Okay? Now let me read this again. That they should make an image to the beast, probably some kind of a clone. Probably exactly what this article is talking about. Make an image to the beast which had a wound by a sword and did live. And he had power, listen to this carefully, to give life unto the image of the beast. You and I are the image of God. This is something that is man-made, that is an image of the beast. And that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So this is a man-made something, half man, half God, and it is required everybody worships that image. Now, in another place in the Bible, it says, the angel gives a really, really big warning. It says, anybody worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel, in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of the torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day or night, that worship the beast. There it is, worship the beast. That's the Antichrist, worship the beast, or his image. That's the image it's talking about right there. The beast, his image, or whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So you do one of the three things. You worship the Antichrist, or his image, or you receive his mark, and you will be tormented with fire and brimstone forever and ever and ever, along with the false prophet, the beast, and Satan. And you don't get soul death. You don't get second death. You take that mark of the beast, you can't cut it out, you can't carve it out, you can't scratch it off, you can't erase it. You take that mark of the beast, and you will be living through all eternity with the beast, the false prophet, Lucifer, and all the other people that took the mark of the beast. You don't get soul death. So brothers and sisters, whatever you do, you never, ever, ever take the mark of the beast, worship the image of the beast, this clone, or you worship the Antichrist. You do not do one of those three things. A lot of people don't understand it at that level, but you don't do it. Don't do it. That's what it's saying. Now let's go to the next article here, because it's in the same vein. Headline: Robots can now grow human organs. By Raquel Lanieri, May 21 of 2018. Is there anything robots can't do? They can perform jobs, get periods, and now grow human organs. Scientists have used robots to produce human mini-organs from stem cells. To mass-produce organoids promises to expand the use of mini-organs in basic research and drug discovery. This is a new secret weapon in our fight against disease, they say. Researchers have had some success growing these cells into more complex, three-dimensional structures called mini-organs. Now, they go on to say that these robots don't make mistakes, and so they can redo the same repetitive, tedious tasks over and over and over and over and over, which allows them more opportunities to learn what it takes to do all of their genetic experiments. What they're trying to do is, here, let's just go to the next article. No, I tell you what. Let me read these three scriptures. Then let's go to this article, because these scriptures about to tell you what's in this article. Joel chapter 2. Now, this is talking about the New World Order Army. This is talking about the whole world government and all of its latest underground secret technology, its greatest weapons, its greatest hybrid, half man, half whatever's out there, all of mankind's strength and weapons into one world army. This is a description. Joel 2:7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. Probably they're hybrids, something like a Superman or like a Hulk, okay? And they shall march everyone in his ways, means they do as they're told. And they shall not break their ranks, neither shall they thrust another. They don't get in fights with each other. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they shall fall on a sword, they shall not be wounded. I've talked about this before. Either they have some kind of a coating so they fall on a sword, or a bullet hits them and it doesn't penetrate them, or they have instant healing. Now, in light of the other verses, I think it's instant healing. Means the sword goes in, they pull it out, and they instantly heal up, and they keep going. Verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. Means they have unbelievable agility, hybrid, advanced technology. Probably they can see in the dark. Probably they can run all day long and not grow tired. They could probably hold their breath instead of 3 minutes like you and I can. Maybe they can hold their breath for 10 or 15 minutes. Swim underwater at amazing speeds. Okay, that's what it's talking about. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Now, the headline. Human merger with machines will create a hybrid race of super gods, says top expert. Look, I didn't write it. I didn't write the Bible. I didn't write that headline. But I'm saying this is exactly what they're trying to accomplish. Let's go on. The article says, renowned author Mark O'Connell, in his book, To Be a Machine, has revealed that the advancements of artificial intelligence will create, listen to this, a new hybrid race of humans which are super intelligent. This new race, which will be a mix of humans and machines, will be undoubtedly super gods in all aspects, and they will possess super strengths and extended lifespans. In his book, he suggests a new transhumanism that will be revealed once it becomes reality, and it will change the course of the human race forever. He says advancements in science and technology will help humans to eradicate aging as the cause of death, just like a plot similar to Hollywood films where humans would be able to merge with machines, thus reshaping the existing human entity completely. Humans will emerge as superhuman workers in the future. Artificial intelligence will move people to more creative jobs in the most efficient manner. Elon Musk warned artificial intelligence will cause adverse results in the future. Artificial intelligence is more dangerous, he says, for mankind than nuclear weapons. He says artificial intelligence-powered robots will treat humans like slaves once they grab command over the planet. Well, how does it relate to Bible prophecy? We just talked about it, but there's more. Matthew 24:37. Jesus said, as the days of Noah were, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Well, what were they doing in the days of Noah? Let's go to Genesis 6:3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days should be 120 years. Now, that's not part of what we're talking about today, but I wanted to add that because it's saying 120 jubilees. And would you believe that experts say we are now in the concluding part of the 120th jubilee, just like Genesis 6:3 says? But let's go to the point. He says there were giants in the earth in those days. And after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, that they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. That word old in Hebrew is eternal, meaning that they were doing experiments, and they were mixing and making hybrid humans. Probably that's where centaurs came from, half man, half horse. Probably that's where mermaids came from, half man, half fish. All of those myths, maybe they weren't myths. Now let's jump to what you and I look forward to. Yes, they're going to try to do all kinds of dastardly things, because the whole point is they, meaning Lucifer, evil people in high places, want to bring in a world government. Why? Well, I've heard people say, well, because they want control. Yes, okay. Why? Well, because they want all the money. They already have a printing press. They can print all the money they want. These days, they don't even need a printing press. Just change the digits on a computer. It's not about money. What's it really about? At the end of the day, it's about everybody got to take that mark, brothers and sisters. You have to swear allegiance to Lucifer, or you lose your head. Now, I've already said, you want to take that mark. You don't want to take that mark. You don't want to spend all eternity living with the beast, the false prophet, and Lucifer, being tormented day and night forever and ever, so says Revelation. Instead, this is what we want. Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Let me read that last part again, because a lot of people don't really see that. And there was no more sea. You see, just before Jesus returns, he arrives to shake the earth terribly. He causes every mountain to fall, every valley to fill in. The earth becomes a nice, round, smooth ball, and there's no more sea. Verse 2, I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. See, right now, there is a heaven. I don't know where it is. Some people claim to have been to planet heaven. I don't know where it is. I don't know if that's true, but here's what I do know. There's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. He's going to remove the curse off of this old earth. This old earth is going to pass away. He's going to make a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's, brothers and sisters, what we look forward to. God himself shall be with them and be their God, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, neither crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. That's what we want. And I will give to him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely. And he that overcometh, that's us, the Christians, shall inherit all things. I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Let me also point out the New Jerusalem. As we look up and we see that, what we're going to see is like a crystal clear cube. It's not gold. It is made of gold. But when gold is perfectly pure, it's clear as glass. Means it won't even have a golden tint to it. It will be like a giant crystal. Matter of fact, one place it says clear as crystal. Another place it says clear as glass. Now, as I asked someone the other day, I said, so how many doors are there to the New Jerusalem? They said, oh, I got that, 12. On the northeast, on the north 3 gates, the east 3 gates, the south 3 gates, the west 3 gates. I said, you're quoting the wall. The wall around the city that is great and high, 144 cubits, has 12 foundations, and it's made of jasper. But the city, the New Jerusalem, the giant crystal clear cube, has no doors, has no gates. Oh, wait a minute. If it has no doors, how do you get inside? Well, that's just the point. We aren't in a mud body by then anymore. We're in a glorified body. How many streets are in the New Jerusalem? Answer, one. So since it's about 1,500 miles square, how do you get around in it if there's only one street? Answer, because we have a glorified body. We have a spirit body. We move not only through walls, we move through space and time at the speed of thought. We don't need walls. We don't need doors. There's one street, one tree. That's the tree of life. There's one river. That's the river of life. There's one throne that the Father and the Son sits on. The 24 elders sit on seats, not thrones. The 4 beasts do not have a seat at all. And then there is another set of thrones. I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of those that were beheaded for the witness and testimony of Jesus Christ, that had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark on the forehead or in the hand, and these lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Those are the kings. Those are the judges. Those are the ones that are given the morning star. One of those nations make a mistake. They break one of God's laws in the New Jerusalem, where they are told that they will be ruled over with a rod of iron. All of a sudden, a morning star judge, one of the kings that sits on one of those thrones that surround the throne, shows up in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the speed of thought, hits them with the morning star. They fall to the ground on a pile of ashes and bones, both body and soul destroyed. Instant judgment. Check it out. It's there. So the point today is, we look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. We look to get our name written in the book of life so we can spend eternity without sin. It's all available, but it's all through the blood of Jesus. Ask Jesus into your heart. Now, read your King James Bible. Make certain you are walking with Jesus today so you can live eternally with him. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. Remember, it is summertime. It means our mailbox is flat. We really need your prayers, but we really need your donations too. God bless you. Have a good day. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. The Extreme Summer Blowout is now in effect. You could get 50 DVDs for $250. That's $5 each. 25 for $160. That's $6.40 each. 15 for $120. That's $8 each. 10 for $100. Obviously $10 each. 6 for $70. 4 for $50, and 2 for $30. You can go to prophecyclub.com. There's a list of all the DVDs there, or you can call us and ask for the summer catalog, or download the catalog at prophecyclub.com. Flip through it, then decide which DVDs you want. That's 785-266-1112, and it expires soon. Call 785-266-1112 today. Some restrictions apply. We just launched WatchProphecyClub.com. You can now watch 160 Prophecy Club recordings and soon over 300 without interruption. Most people would agree 300 titles, normally $30 each. A gift of $100 a month would be reasonable. $50 a pretty good deal, but the introductory rate for a limited time is just $20, recurring monthly subscription. A 1-year subscription is a gift of $200. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime you want to, and you get the first 3 days free just to check it out. The best deal is a yearly subscription that'll lock in your rate for a year even when we raise the rates. WatchProphecyClub.com. Go check it out. WatchProphecyClub.com. Dr. Bree Keaton just made a brand new DVD. It's called Is Trump or Patrick Henry? Now, it's not a political talk. Bree's mother was a descendant of the patriot Patrick Henry. She reveals shocking, never released private family records, bloodlines, and gives you the true story of how God used Patrick Henry to save America. She helped me to see more clearly where we are and where we're going, because most of history has already repeated itself. I promise you will like this DVD. Is Trump our Patrick Henry? ProphecyClub.com.